Hi, hello, how are you? This video is all about the convoluted way I choose from my bank of photos, which I will work from. By the way, these are from photos that I have taken while wandering around in the streets of Baños, Ecuador. Here's a scoop on me. I'm an artist, and the contents of this video are just my opinion and how I do what I do. I'm a self-taught artist and sometimes question myself, because I compare myself to professional teachers and professors of art who must know much more than me. I have this nasty old confidence problem of that it is only my opinion and education is lacking by being self-taught. But hopefully you will find support and information in what I'm about to express. I use art to express my feelings, so yeah, my cartoons and art lineup are here to help me out and also lighten the mood. I'm in no way a professional photographer, and nor do I plan out any of my photo sessions. I literally go into an area and take hundreds of photos. I go in with zero expectations and go from there. I have seen many an artist who got way into the settings and composition and missed the money shot. I decided to make up for my lack of composition knowledge and wisdom and self-educate. I would be responsible. I would go into my brain and my computer to find out how I create layouts for my art. I had hopes that somewhere, maybe somewhere in the deep recesses of my mind, I might find out that I subconsciously was choosing a mathematical formula. And that would be a hell of a surprise, since I'm not really someone who is a math anything. And I hate to admit it, but I was one of those people who collected receipts and papers and put them in the shoebox and gave them to my very, very sad accountant. Still, I held out for some little tiny hope that I might have this programming or mathematical genius in my brain. This might be possible, but I'm very, very sure I don't have a single math brain cell in there. So when I went looking for this information, since I wasn't inclined at all that way, I went directly to YouTube and looked up how other artists and other people were doing it. I saw endless math and equations explaining how math and nature are one, and I totally dig it. I saw explanations and then saw those explanations putting toward famous works of art, clear math diagrams of all kinds of geometry made and layered over the art, and voila, sometimes it worked, but other times, frankly, I didn't see how they matched up. All the while, these people were saying for sure that this is what was happening with such conviction. I kind of like the golden ratio and the golden triangle ideas the best. I love the connection between nature and math, and I can totally embrace the synchronicity about all of it. I even made a couple of golden ratio calipers that I will share with you so that you can have them in your home also. But I found out it was more fun to create and paint them than actually figuring out the math that supports them. My flaw. But I'm an artist after all. And although I followed the directions, which is never good if you know me, never asked me to do an IKEA anything, I'm not positive my calipers work. They look nice, and I got to play with my interference paint to make them look steampunky, but again, I'm not sure if they work. I found out that quite a few people use the rule of thirds, and also using the rule of 5/8. And another person angry because using these methods inhibited him, and he was all about the dynamic rate symmetry now, and he wanted that crutch removed to free him so he could embrace another law. Another law, go figure. And then I heard people saying that these are not rules, but they're guidelines. And then they followed him by a statement saying that if you want to be like the old masters and one day have your art comparable to them, you must use them or you will never be a professional. What was interesting is that when these people looked at artwork, they showed how their favorite guide or favorite method best fit the art. I didn't always see that too. I didn't get that part, because sometimes they made their philosophy fit by cutting corners or taking small sections of works and fitting it in there. It's kind of like cheating. Some people were so distracted by it, they forgot all about the work, the value of the image or the impression it makes on people. What it all comes down to is those people is composition is everything or nothing. And for me, that's a bit freaking stressful. I have seen some art to me that, although followed those rules, in my opinion, came out lacking. Not natural at all, and somehow strained and uncomfortable. Now, this is not to say that art with tension or art that is uncomfortable isn't good. In fact, many times I look for or look to strive for this. What I guess I'm saying is that it was constrained, too planned, or in their heads. After all the research, videos, and opinions, art for me again is intuitive. Say it says something or it says nothing. Art creates a feeling, an awareness, an investment in humanity. It invokes something in you, and it is not my place to say what that is. It is very personal. It's like going into someone's closet without permission, or forcing yourself upon someone else, if you get my drift. When I paint or create, I include other components of good design, like structure, visual texture, balance, imbalance, how to use space, light, contrast, color, focal points, visual texture, proportions, movement, rhythm, shapes, placement, arrangement, readability, shifting horizon, etc. But I don't get all hung up in it, and don't necessarily include consciously all of it. I think that is what over-planning comes to when you see it in a picture. Look, the reality for me is this. The photo must stop me in my tracks. There must be something unique, either with the person or the focus or the environment. I personally prefer to have something unexpected happen, or thought-provoking, or match a feeling that I'm experiencing, but can't find the words to express it. I have found that people who really have looked at my art, they feel something, have an epiphany or a special moment. If I go into my brain too much, especially the part where I left brain it, where problem solving and science and advanced thought, all for lack of a better phrase, my art becomes predictable, boring, stiff, and kind of lacking life. So, if after all the research it has taught me anything, it's this. I will continue to carry on in my pursuit of art in my own way, and I will play and experience art that may never even get me into a museum, but hopefully it will bring joy to myself and other people. I will continue to grow as an artist and learn from other people, but stay true to my own unique perspective and expression. Art gives me the ability to communicate because I just don't have all the words available to me to do so. I don't want to go to an art class and come out doing someone else's style, or have someone come up to me later on and say, "Oh, it looks like you took a class from so-and-so." This leads me to our next part of this journey. Hopefully, it will help you do art in your own way, the art you were meant to do. So without further ado, I'll take a couple examples of my photos and talk about what I chose and show the final piece that I created from it, and then let you make your own decision whether I did the right thing or not. I do have to say that sometimes I've gone back and used the other photo because that photo still stuck in my soul, and I could say what I could not do in a different headspace or circumstance, so it was perfect then. I will say also, not all photos translate well into 2 dimensions, and sometimes they come out too busy or weird looking when you apply paint. So you have the right to do as an artist to narrate that, edit it. Use classic design like Magic Triangle, but don't get hooked on them or depend on that stuff. It can help you if you're stuck and guide your way out of the stuckness or block. Remember to keep your art interesting with your own unique view and points of unique interest. Personally, I prefer the person to be relaxed and natural, not posed, so hence I take a lot of street shots. So let's now get into some of these examples. I took these 2 street shots in a park. They were both interesting, but I chose the bottom one for its drama sensitivity and showing her amazing beauty. I focused on contrast, emotion, and it makes me want to know her story. What do you think? Here are 2 shots that I had to choose from. I love the top shot more for her sensitivity and the texture of the head blanket. What is she going through in her life? It forces me to invest in exploring her moment right now. Was this a good choice? From these 2 shots, I chose the bottom one because of her soft gaze. Again, she's making me curious about her life. What is her story? Both of these shots are good, but the bottom one is sweet, though it's a bit too posed for me. What do you think? Was this the right choice? I like both of these shots, to the point of where I don't know if I chose the right one. This might be one that I go back to in the future. I took lots of photos of this man, and I don't think I had a lousy one. Here I ended up using the bottom one for interesting light, reflection in his glasses that made me look like he had a sparkle in his eye, and his easy smile. Look at these two photos and see if you can tell which one I chose and why. What do you think? I chose the top photo in this set for interesting pose, clarity of photo, and contrast of the photo. I chose the bottom photo on this set solely because of the directness of her gaze. This is the last photo. Both photos are really powerful and intense. However, I chose the right one, not for her, the main focus, but because of him and his contribution to the whole photo. I hope that this video was an interesting one for you. It was one that I could have gone on for a long time, but I wanted to see how you all felt about it. I also didn't want to sound disrespectful to people with more education and experience than myself. This is just my unprofessional opinion. So if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified when I post in the future. And leave a comment if you would like more videos like this or suggestions. Please be kind with your comments though, so that we can all learn gently together.